This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So previously, whatever we did all the baseline configuration, and then we were able to perform the consistency check. In the consistency check, we understood our company code check passed without any error. Now, what we need to do, we need to move forward from the consistency check towards the document posting. So I'll put document posting in company code. Whatever the company code you created, in that company code, you need to post a document. First point, for us to record any document posting, you are having certain dependencies. Point number one, let's say prerequisites for posting a document. First point is baseline config. Is this completed? This is completed, right?
Yes.
We did baseline config and then we were able to perform the consistency check. Point number one, first prerequisite we all completed. Second one is master data. When we're talking about master data, this is yet to create or yet to be created. This is not yet created. All we did was only the baseline config. Any master data is not created so far. Now we need to understand, to create a document, what master data is required. Okay, let us write down. First point, GL master data is required to post the document. Reason, whenever we are talking about a document posting, first document posting which we will be doing is GL account document. To post a GL account document, we must require GL account master data. Second one, you require profit center master data. Third point, we require cost center master data. Profit center master is required, cost center master is required, and other master data whatever is required for us to post the first accounting entry we need to write down. We are writing this prerequisite only with respect to our first accounting entry. Now before we go further, we need to understand what is our accounting entry that we would be posting. Let me write accounting entry to be posted. If I say accounting entry to be posted, first I should have a clarity what I am going to record in my company code. In general, as everybody is aware, first accounting entry in our company code would be what? To start any business?
Capital. Capital.
Capital. Okay, this is the basic understanding that all of us are having. First accounting entry would be capital accounting entry. For this capital accounting entry, you would be debiting cash account or any asset account, then you will be crediting capital account. Let's go ahead with cash account debit, capital account credit. Only the first accounting entry to understand how to record, how to post a journal entry in the system. Let's say I'll put cash brought into business as capital. Now let's say the amount is INR, let's say 8 lakhs. Is this clear? Cash brought into business as capital, INR 8 lakh. Now in general, by looking at this transaction, we are all aware what accounting entry we need to pass. You'll have to pass the accounting entry to put a debit, to put a credit. Now this debit and credit, whatever we need to write here is, first one, I'll put debit. Second one, I'll put credit. Okay, I'll put dr/cr here. This is representing debit or credit. As we are all aware, every accounting entry must contain at least one debit and at least one credit. In our example, we will be having one debit and then one credit. For this accounting entry, you need to have GL account here. Because we are writing accounting entry, you need to put GL account here. Debit, what account will come? Cash account?
Bank.
Okay, because we are talking about cash here, we are bringing a cash form. So I am going to debit cash account. And I am going to bring this as capital. Let me put capital here. This is only to understand the accounting entry. This is only to understand how to record the entry in SAP. Logic is what we are understanding here. Later on, any debit credit that you take, it will be on the same logic. Okay, debit credit, I have listed. Debit is cash account, credit is capital account. Then I'll have to put the amount. When I put the amount, I'll have to ensure amount. Now this amount typically contains three amounts, or from the transaction point of view, I have transaction value. What is my transaction value? 8 lakhs.
8 lakhs.
8 lakhs.
We call it as transaction value. Am I correct? Can I say 8 lakh is the transaction value?
Yes.
Right? This 8 lakh is a transaction value. Every transaction is made in a single currency only. This transaction took place in which currency?
INR.
INR.
PNR.
INR. So I will put amount INR. I'll put amount INR. It would be 8 lakh. Logic to update any amount is look at the debit, look at the credit. First, you put amount, debit and credit same, but you need to ensure by looking at the number, you can differentiate debit and credit. By looking at the number, if you are unable to differentiate debit and credit, it is not accounting number. Are we writing a number in accounting, or are we writing a number for just like that? What is the purpose of writing this number now? To update the accounting?
Accounting. Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Your accounting number should always represent debit, credit in it. If your accounting number is not representing a debit and credit, your number is incorrect. Always make a habit of it. Looking at the number, you should understand the debit and credit. If the number is not revealing the debit credit of it, this is invalid number as a consultant for you, as a accounting candidate for you. Now, how do I differentiate between debit and credit? Logic is positive number,
Minus
negative
sign
number.
on the
Right?
credit side.
Debit must be positive number, credit must be
must-
negative number.
Negative.
Negative is identified with minus sign. Right? Now, every currency contains a decimal. When I'm talking about INR, INR contains how many decimal points? INR contains how many decimal points? 2 decimal points. I need to make sure my amount is updated with decimal point, or I should know this amount is in rounding of hundreds, in rounding of thousands, in rounding of lakhs. Am I correct? When you look at the number, you would have seen amount in thousands, amount in hundreds, amount in lakhs, amount in crores. Anybody noticed? Because they're rounding the number. If the number is very high, you cannot put full number. In this example, if I say this is not a rounding number, this is the exact number. What currency is it? INR. For
Yes.
INR, how many decimals are allowed?
Two
Two
decimals.
decimal.
Decimals.
Right? You select these two values and click on your Excel sheet this comma style. If you put this on your Excel sheet, now you can see system is updating amount in comma and a dot. comma is used for separating 1,000, dot is used for separating 1,000. This is the general way to segregate amount. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah.
This is the standard general way to segregate the amount. Thousands are segregating the thousands. Sorry, comma is segregating 1,000. Dot is segregating decimal. Next one. This is transaction currency. Now, whenever I do any transaction, I will take the transaction into accounting only when there is money involvement. If there is no money involvement, do we take that into accounting or we do not?
No. No accounting.
Right? When there is a transaction but there is no financial impact, there is no monetary impact, there is no money involvement, we don't consider that transaction in our accounting reason. Accounting records only monetary transaction. When there is no monetary transaction, there is no accounting entry. For that, every transaction will have a single currency. Am I right? I am free to do transaction in any currency. Is my statement correct? As an
Yeah.
individual, I can do transaction in any currency. I have no limitation. I have no limitation, meaning my transaction can be performed in any currency. Am I correct? I can perform my transaction in any currency. This would be my transaction currency. Now, what I'll do, amount in INR. This is coming from transaction. I will call it as 00. When I'm talking about 00, what do I mean?
Currency.
INR business.
00 means what? What currency? Transaction currency?
Transaction
Trans-
currency.
Yeah, transaction currency. Yeah.
Alright, 00 means transaction currency. Now, next one, this is standard. This is not in your control. This is based on the transaction, whatever you performed. There are two currencies which are in your control. There are two currencies which you cannot change. When we were looking at the configuration, in short, the baseline configuration at ledger setting. For our ledger, we had two currencies. First FI currency, second FI currency, INR, dollar. Did we have any option to change those currency in the ledger, or we had no option to change?
You can change it.
You had any option in the FINSC underscore ledger at your company code? Do you find two currencies, INR, dollar or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
One setup, it
INR,
is
dollar,
not
you found it.
editable.
Right. And those two currencies were not editable. They are grayed out, right? Meaning they are fixed.
Yes, it
Their
is
grayed out
fixed.
means they are fixed. For your company code, those two currencies are always mandatory. They are always fixed. You cannot change them. All you can change is currency type 00, which is your transaction currency. Based on this, you'll have to put amount again. First currency in your FI. What was that? Company code currency.
Yes.
Yes.
What was our company code? AP90 Apple India. For AP90 Apple India, which company code currency we were using?
INR.
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 I'll put INR. This INR company code currency identified by which currency type in SAP?
00.
00.
I
10.
IN.
10.
10.
10.
It will be
Yeah,
identified
10.
with 10.
0.
Now, this 10, I will mark it as blue. Okay, when I'm marking it as blue, I assume that it is fixed. If my transaction currency and my local currency are same, there is no point of any conversion. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
There is no point of any conversion when the currency is the same. When currency is different, that's where we need to think, how do I convert it? Now, is there any need for the conversion or there is no need for conversion?
Need
No
to
need.
conversion.
No need of conversion because both are INR. INR will remain same in any place, right? So I can simply put same value here, INR. Can I put same number? Will it be okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in our company code for FINSC underscore ledger, we had another currency also. What was that currency? Group currency.
30 currency.
Yeah, group currency
30,
30.
30.
30.
What was that group currency? Dollar.
Dollars. US dollar.
It was
30.
30.
30.
It was dollar and then it was 30. I'll put a different color for this. Now, this dollar, when I have it, before dollar, do I have any currency or dollar is the first currency?
Oh, we have INR.
Local currency.
How many currencies I have before dollar? Is it one currency? Is it two currency? I'm not talking
One
about the
currency.
number.
One.
One currency.
I'm not talking
currency.
about the
One
number.
currency. One currency.
I'm not talking about this number.
Actually, two currencies.
Two currencies.
Two
How many
currencies.
Two
currencies?
currencies.
Company code.
What are those two currencies?
Transaction currency or
Zero
INR
zero.
and USD.
Transaction and
Yes.
company code currency.
INR and dollar. Just a minute. It is INR and then it is dollar. Now, when I have two currencies, is there any rule that these two currencies should be always INR? These two should be same. Is there any rule such like that, or there is no rule?
No rule.
there is no rule.
No rule.
There is no rule, right? They can be different. Currency 00, currency 10 can be different also, right? Agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This can be different. But currency type 30, it can be dollar always, or it can be change, or it can change from transaction to transaction, or it
Should
has
be
to be
dollar.
fixed.
USD.
Always
Should be
fixed.
dollar.
only.
It is dollar always, meaning it is fixed every time. Now, when it is fixed
It is
every
functional.
time, I need to make sure this dollar is converted either from currency 10 or from currency 00 strictly. Agree? I should ensure this dollar is converted either from currency 10 or currency 00. Now, if you go back to the ledger setting, let me log into the system. To look at the ledger, FINSC underscore ledger, come here. In this, continue. We are talking about leading ledger. Select leading ledger 0L. Click on company code settings. Inside this, pick our company code. For that, go to position. Choose AP90. Continue. Double click on AP90. In this company code, you look at the currencies that we assigned or that we are using for our company code. First FI currency is currency type 10, which is INR, and this currency is converted from where? Source currency is the currency
00.
from where it is converted. It is converted from 00, meaning here LC 10 is always converted from DC. DC means what?
Document currency.
Document currency.
Document currency. LC is always converted from DC. No other alternative here. This is fixed. Am I correct?
Yes.
No other alternative here. It is fixed. But when it comes to second currency, which means GC, GC is 30. Is converted from either DC 00 or LC 10. Am I right?
Yes.
You have two options here, because when I'm looking at INR, Before INR, before my local currency, I have only single currency, which is my document currency. No other option. I must follow this only. But when I look at the other one, group currency, what is the option here? I have two currencies here, 0 and 10.
Yes.
Now I need to decide either to convert from 0, 0 or to convert from 10. I need to decide at the beginning only, because later on you cannot change it. You have to ensure this setting is followed strictly in all your company codes at one time only.
But when
Okay.
your local currency
Here,
is INR, Ajay, when your local currency is INR, document currency should convert to local currency, then to group currency, no? Logically.
now I'm writing this. Two options available here. Okay, option number 1 would be DC 002 GC 10 30. Is this correct? Possible or not? Option
Yes.
number 2, LC 10 to GC. Are these two possible or not possible?
Yeah. That's possible.
Right? Both are possible. Either I can decide that I will convert my group currency from my document currency or my transaction currency, or I will convert my group currency from my local currency or from my company code currency. But you'll have to choose between only one. And this decision to be taken at the beginning. Later on, you are not supposed to change it. Majoritarily, it is fixed. You will be converting from local currency to group currency, which we will be using local currency to group currency. This will be followed. And this one, you'll have to tell to the client which logic you are currently using and how you would like to carry forward going forward. If client is telling we would like to convert our company code currency into my group currency, so that your group currency is consistent, INR equivalent to dollar. Am I right? If I am using my document currency, my group currency may not be consistent, right? Sometimes dollar is coming from INR, sometimes dollar is coming from AED, sometimes dollar is coming from euro. Am I right? Because your
Yes.
document currency can be different,
Yes.
Yes.
right? We have to make sure there is a consistent logic followed. Blindly, just like that, you should not put, I should not put. In any company, nobody will put this. Everybody will have a logic, because at the end of the month, you would have heard something called currency translations, currency valuations.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will be having the currency valuations, currency translation. For example, if I'm submitting my financials to you, and when I submit my financial, I need to make sure my financials are submitted in both local currency and group currency. Is that right? Is that true?
It's all.
Right? When I'm submitting my financials, if I submit my financials in both local currency and group currency, I know my local currency is INR, my group currency is dollar. Now, since we're talking about reporting here, you have three currencies here. 00 is what?
Document currency.
Document currency. 00 is a document currency. 10 is what?
Currency.
Local currency.
Local currency.
Local company code
Local
currency.
currency or
Local
company
currency.
code currency. 30 is group currency or local currency number 2. 30 is represented as a group currency, or it can also be represented as local currency 2. Now, when you're talking about financial reporting or financial statement, we are specifically talking about trial balance, P&L, balance sheet. Am I correct?
Yes.
We are specifically talking about trial balance, P&L, and then balance sheet. When I'm preparing the trial balance, what is the logic for preparing a trial balance? What is the end checkpoint? TB should become 0.
Yes.
Yes.
At the end, I'll have to ensure my trial balance is becoming 0. When I prepare the trial balance at a document currency level, will it become 0
Yes.
or it will not become 0?
It will not become 0.
No, it will not become zero because document currency will have different currencies.
Different.
Currencies,
Yes.
correct. When I'm looking at my trial balance in document currency, I may not be in a position to make it zero every time, because if my document contains different currencies, definitely it is not possible for me to make it zero. Am I right?
Yes.
Meaning, when I'm not preparing my trial balance in document currency, do I prepare my P&L in document currency?
No.
No.
No. When I'm not preparing my trial balance in document currency, I will not prepare my P&L in document currency. Similarly, I will also not prepare my balance sheet in document currency. Is my statement correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Because I cannot make it zero. If my TB itself is not becoming zero, I will tell my accounting is inaccurate. Reason, it is not with a consistent currency. My financial reporting must be on a single currency to do it. Because
But
in the
Ajay,
reporting, what I am doing, yeah,
I have one question here. So let's say we will be doing debit and credit in the same currency only, and then why will it not be zero? Like if, for
when you're
example, if I'm
making a reporting, you're not doing reporting for a single transaction, right? In a month, you will have hundreds of transactions, thousands of transactions.
yeah, right, but for each and every transaction, it will be the case, no? For
But when you're
every
talking
debit, there will
about
be.
the financial statement, you're consolidating all the transaction figures into the report. So you may be doing the entry in dollar, you may be doing the entry in AED, euro, different other currency. Now altogether, I cannot make a single TB, right?
Yeah, right.
Right? So as a result, at a document currency level, we don't prepare any reporting. In short, no trial balance, no P&L, no balance sheet at a document currency level. Reason, currencies can be different. When you have different currencies, reporting is not accurate. So at this level, we don't prepare any reporting. Your reporting is strictly on 10 and 30. That's where we were talking about two currencies. If I put document currency here, local currency here, and then group currency here. Meaning, whenever you record any accounting entry in SAP, strictly you should remember these three documents. Sorry, these three currencies. Document currency is also called as what? Transaction currency.
10.
Transaction
Currency.
currency.
Transaction currency. Local currency is also called as
Company
company
code
Company
codes
code
currency.
currency.
currency. Similarly, group currency is also called as
Global currency.
Local. FI
local
currency.
currency too. Okay, this is also called as local currency too. Now each currency is identified by a two-digit numeric number. Document currency is identified by 00
Zero,
and local currency
10.
is identified by 10. Similarly, your group currency,
30.
30.
it is 3030. These 3 points you must understand. First, before you look at any accounting entry in SAP, these 3 points, these 3 currencies should strictly sit in your mind. Because no matter where you're looking at the accounting entry, when you look at the accounting entry, you should straight away know that, okay, in my document, I should have these 3 currencies. Point number 1. Point number 2, these 3 currencies can be different. First point, if I say my 00, my document currency is euro, possible or not?
Yes.
For our company code, local currency is INR. For our company code, group currency is dollar, meaning it's a single transaction but updated in 3 different currencies. Am I right?
Yes.
Right? Where is the manual input? This is manual input. Am I right? This euro value is given manually by the user while updating the transaction. Am I correct? Because in accounting, you need supporting documentation or not.
Yes.
If I say there is a transaction for some 1,000 euros, do I need to produce the supporting documentation or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Like invoice.
Right? My supporting documentation, it can be any supporting documentation because we're not specifically talking about any nature of transaction. We're talking about any entry. If I say it is euro transaction, I should produce a supporting documentation which says it is euro. If I say euro 1000, if I say it is 1000 euros, and this 1000 euros will be given manually by the user at the time of data entry. Is my statement correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, based on this euro manual input, your local currency is always
INR.
auto converted number, meaning this is converted automatically. When system is converting automatically, there should be a logic, right? How you will convert INR here?
Based upon the
FX
exchange rate.
Based
rate.
on the exchange rate. From which currency to which currency? Euro to INR I need to convert.
Yeah.
Right, I need to convert from euro to INR. Here I need to know 1 euro is equivalent to how many INR. Accordingly, I will take, if 1 euro is, let's say 70 INR, 1000 euro is equal to how many INR. Accordingly, I will do it. Now system will take care of it. Because when I perform a transaction in euro, my supporting document only contains euro value, not INR value. Am I right? It is my reporting requirement, right, to convert that euro into INR and then submit to the local authorities. Am I right?
Yes.
It is our responsibility to convert euro into INR, which is our local currency, company code currency, and submit the reporting to the local authorities. Now here system is automatically converting based on, let's say, EUR to INR. Is this correct?
Yes.
This is euro to INR automatic conversion. And this number we will write. For example, 1 EUR is equal to, I'm just writing a random number, 90 INR. According to this, 1000 euro will be how many INR?
90,000.
90,000.
90,000.
90,000. It will be 90,000. Similarly, when you're looking at group currency or local currency number 2, it will be dollar. Now here also, is it a manual input or it is auto converted from the system?
Converted.
Auto
Converted.
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 This is also automatically converted by the system. But before this conversion takes place, system should be aware from where to convert. Otherwise, system will always get stuck whether I should convert from 1000 euros to dollar or 90,000 INR to dollar. There are two possibilities here.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
Right? I have two possibilities here, either to convert from 1000 euros to equivalent dollar or
Or from
90,000
90,000.
INR to equivalent dollar. But this is not your choice at the time of entry. This is something that you have to decide at the beginning of your config only. Majoritarily, we will be preferring INR so that you know that my dollar is always converted from INR, local currency to group currency. Am I right?
Correct.
There should be a fixed logic. Whatever you are defining in the system, always remember it has to be based on a logic. I cannot say in some entries it is based on euro, in some entries it is based on INR, in some entries my dollar is coming based on AED, then there is no consistency, right? Am I right?
But the value we would be same only, right? Based upon the exchange rate.
No, it will be different.
No.
When you convert from euro to dollar, it may be a different dollar. When you convert from INR to dollar, it may be different. There are different factors affecting conversion. Am I right?
There is also agreement between countries, so they will have a fixed,
Yeah.
like in I think in Middle East it is there with dollar and their local currency.
You have something called pegged currency. Anybody heard pegged currency?
Yes.
No.
When you say pegged currency, it is always fixed. Whatever happens in the market, exchange rate will never change. It will always
Yes.
valuated, or it is always traded, converted with the same rate. Today exchange rate is high, tomorrow exchange rate is low because of XYZ factors, does not have any impact.
It means it's a
Okay,
fixed currency kind of stuff, right?
fixed
fixed
currency.
currency,
Yeah, those currencies we usually call it as pegged currencies. Okay, now here you need to tell the system how you want system to convert. It is always local currency to group currency. Am I right? In this example, it would be INR to dollar. Now, accordingly, if I put example, 1 USD is equal to 80
Six.
INR. In this case, what would be the value? I have to take is equal to 90,000 INR divided by 80.
Yes.
Right? This is divided by 80. So this would be US dollar 1125. Right? This would be dollar 1125. Meaning, in every accounting entry, whatever you are posting, you should first understand how values are getting updated. How these values are getting updated, you must understand. Otherwise, there is no point we are posting accounting entries in SAP. There is no point we are practicing. There is no point we are looking at the report. We are moving forward when we do not know how the values are coming. At the end, to the user, to the client, who has to explain this? We need to explain as a consultant. Am I right? Tomorrow when you're in a project, you need to make your client understand these points, right? There are many other functionalities where these are base. If you are good at the base, you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to explain different points to your clients, to your user, or to anybody with whom you are talking. These three things are first. And here we are talking about conversion from one currency to another currency. Now, whenever you are doing the currency conversion, if I say currency conversion is based on exchange rate, am I right? Is this true? Currency conversion is based on exchange rate.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, exchange rate is usually two types. Exchange rate is usually two types. One is direct quotation. Second one is indirect quotation. Meaning, again, when I know INR to dollar, I should know how I need to convert from INR to dollar. Similarly, how I will convert from dollar to INR. Both I need to know. Two way I should know. Meaning, we always call currency pair. Pair means one or two.
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 Pair means two. In our example, if I say INR and a dollar, this is a currency pair.
Yes.
Yes.
INR and a dollar is a currency pair. Now, in general, whenever you hear that the exchange rate between INR and dollar, you may be hearing the exchange rate is 80. Majority like this, you will see rate is 80, 81, 79, 78. Am I right? Every day there may be a slight fluctuation.
Yes.
Assuming it is 80. Now, if I say that I know that exchange rate is 80 for dollar, it is important for me to know if I put INR and if I put dollar. Okay, if I put my source and if I put rate, and I should put target, am I right? I should also put target. Now rate, whatever I put, if I put 80, 80, because I told exchange rate is 80. Did I specify is it INR to dollar or dollar to INR? No, right?
No.
Nowhere it is mentioned. Now if it is source INR, target would be dollar. If source is dollar, target would be INR. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
This is what? My rate. If I say my source is 1000 INR and my source is $1000. If I say my source is 1000 INR, $1000, my rate is 80. In both the situation, can I say target is also same or it should be different?
Different.
Different.
It is different
Should be
because
different,
It will be in dollar.
right? It should be different. I'll put 80 here. Now if I say 1000 multiplied by 80 and if I say 1000 multiplied by 80, can I say same? 1000 INR is equal to $80,000. $1,000 is equal to 80,000 INR. Both are correct or only one is correct?
One is correct.
Only one
One
is
is
correct.
correct.
Which one is correct?
Second
INR
one
to
is correct.
First
USD.
one or second one?
One
Second one.
USD is
Second one
equal
is
to
correct.
80,000 INR.
Second one.
Right? This is correct and this is wrong. Why this is wrong? On what basis you are telling this is wrong? Meaning something is striking us which clearly telling no, this is not correct.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, 1000.
Because you know,
One
1000
INR is equal
INR,
to not 80.
We have
right?
to
We know
divide
that 1 INR is not 80. How you will
Yes, correct.
understand this? Based on
direct and indirect.
direct quotation or indirect quotation. Now, before you decide what is your direct quotation, what is your indirect quotation, you should know what is your currency first. And all this you are doing in your SAP, in your company code, in the SAP, in your company code. In our example, what was our company code? AP90,
Yes, AP90.
right? Our company code is AP90. I'll put this. Company code is equal to AP90. Company code, country is equal to India. I can say company code, currency is equal to INR.
INR, yes.
From these three statements, can I say local currency is INR? Is this correct?
INR. Correct.
This is local currency INR. Now this is fixed. Am I right? I
Yes.
cannot change this. Agree? No way that I can change my local currency from INR to any other currency. Reason, I am operating in India. In India, official currency is INR. I must produce all my reports in INR only. There is no other go here. I cannot do any changes here. Now, if my local currency is INR, is there any rule that I should perform all transactions in INR only? No such rule.
No such rule.
No such rule, right? I can perform the transaction in any currency. If I can perform the currency in any currency, I need to ensure my transaction currency is converted into my local currency.
Yes.
Right? I need to ensure my transaction currency is converted into my local currency. How do I convert it? Based on the exchange rate. How do I convert? Based on the
Based on
exchange
the
rate.
exchange rate.
Now I need to understand. Let's say if transaction took place in US dollar. If transaction took place in US dollar, we need to convert USD to INR for
Hi, Radha. Hi, team.
Local reporting purpose.
Okay, morning everyone. Good evening. Rather, just FYI, the FINEREC data on the.
Okay, is this a statement correct? We need to convert dollar to INR for the local reporting purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Now, from here, our requirement is to convert USD to INR. Our requirement is to convert USD to INR. When this is my requirement, I need to understand option 1, and then I'll put option number 2. LC to FC, and option number 2, I will put FC to LC. When I'm talking about LC, I am representing local currency. LC is equal to local currency. What do I mean by FC?
Functional
currency.
Fixed
Foreign currency.
Foreign currency.
Foreign currency. FC is nothing but foreign currency. In short, whenever I'm talking about my company code AP90, which is operating in India official currency is INR. By default, my local currency becomes INR, which is fixed.
Yes, sir.
So in this example, local currency is always INR, which is fixed. Now this conversion USD to INR is what I'll have to do, not INR to dollar. Am I right?
Yes.
How I will finalize whether it is a dollar to INR or INR to dollar is purely based on the transaction. Am I right? I cannot assume anything on my own. I'll have to look at the transaction. When I'm looking at the transaction will have a currency. Look at that currency, compare the currency with company code. If transaction took place in dollar, your company code is INR. This is nothing but dollar to INR. Dollar to INR, is it LC to FC or FC to LC?
FC to LC.
FC to LC.
FC to LC.
This is FC to LC. And this one, this is FC to LC. And this would be LC to FC. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, whenever somebody says the exchange rate, they will always tell dollar rate is 80 today. Am I right? People will tell dollar rate is 80 today. And nobody will tell other way around, right? 0.02, something like that. Anybody told anytime you saw? Majoritarily? No, right? Everybody will tell in terms of today dollar rate is 80, it is 84, 85 and so on.
Yes.
Meaning we need to understand how we have to convert this. How we need to understand how we need to do this calculation to get the right exchange rate. We'll have to have a clarity. For this, first point is to understand, is your currency conversion happening from FC to LC or LC to FC? Funny Prasad, can you please go on mute? We need to make sure whether this is happening from LC to FC or FC to LC. Once you are able to identify this, now you need to understand if conversion is FC to LC. Other one is if conversion is
LC to FC.
from LC to FC. Both are possibilities. Okay, here this would be FC into exchange rate is equal to LC. Am I correct?
Correct.
Foreign currency multiplied by exchange rate is equal to local currency. On the other way around, it would be LC divided by exchange rate is equal to FC. Am I correct?
Yes.
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 Right? We need to understand if these points are not clear, we are able to post the document, but we are not able to understand why numbers are coming. If this is the situation, you cannot analyze, you cannot look at the report as a consultant. As a consultant, you need to see how system is converting the number. If your user is looking at the number and user is telling, my report is not correct, it is supposed to be this number, but it is coming some other number. You should know why the number is incorrect, whether the user understanding is a problem or in system there is a problem. Whether system is correct or the user is correct, who need to decide, who need to guide? Consultant. Am I
Yes.
right? System is showing some number, user is telling no, this number is not correct, it is supposed to be the other number. Now you are the judge here. You'll have to listen from the user. System cannot talk. Then you'll have to go and look at the system, because system cannot talk on its own, right? It can only show the number, it can only show the output. Look at the system output and listen from the user what your user is telling and understand why user is telling it is supposed to be like this. Go to the system, understand on your own how system is converting in this way, what settings are maintained. Accordingly tell the user, okay, you are correct, in system there is a different setting maintained, please confirm if this is how you wanted to convert. Accordingly I will amend the system setting. Or if system is correct, user is not correct, make sure that you are in a position to let the user understand how system is working, how system is converting the number. Then user will change their mindset. Okay, in system this is how conversion is happening, I need to make sure my calculations are done in this way. Otherwise for no reason user will tell or your client will tell system is not working fine. Am I right? For every point, if somebody is raising a point that the number is not correct, report value is incorrect, then it gives a negative point, which means users are not able to understand. And remember, whenever user is not able to understand anything, it is always a negative remark on the consultant. Reason, as a consultant, we need to train the user. Is that true? As a consultant, we must train the user, point number one. Point number two, as a consultant, we must prepare the user manual.
Yes.
First point, you'll have to conduct the training session. If you did not explain these points in the training session, it is our fault. The user might easily blame, stating that nobody told us this. Yes, correct, only nobody told, we did not mention this point during the training session. User getting confused, user not having the right understanding, makes sense. Our fault, we need to conduct the training session once again. Or you have given the user manual, nowhere it is documented this is how system is converting. Somewhere it must be documented and communicated with the user, either in the form of a document or in a training session. Then only you tell that okay, we already explained, we already told this. If nowhere it is documented, either in the email or in the training session or in any manual, then it will be a tricky situation. We say that okay, I think we did not mention this anywhere, we will document, we will prepare a user manual and share it shortly. These things will happen in any project, provided the points are not properly followed. Majoritarily in every project, these things are strictly followed. As a consultant, you must remember these points. This is one point. Now, considering these 2 points, strictly remember these 2 points, this table alone. In which case you need to do a multiplication, in which case you'll have to take the divided by, you need to understand. After that, if I go up, in this example, if transaction is taking place in any currency, because we have two options here, one from INR to dollar, two from dollar to INR. If I say that rate is 80, we need to understand this 80 is always referring dollar to INR. $1 is equal to 80 INR.
Yes.
Or 80 INR is equivalent to $1. Either ways, 1 USD is equal to 80 INR or 80
Sir,
INR
exchange
is
rate is
equal to 1
possible.
euro.
Sir, exchange rate is possible in decimal also, right?
It is possible in decimal also.
Okay.
Okay. Now in this example, as per our company code, our company code currency is INR. According to this statement, from INR to dollar, I should do a multiplication or divided by.
Divided by.
Divided by.
I should do a divided by 1000 divided by 80.
$12.
$12.5 is right value. Am I correct? 12.5 is the right dollar value in this example. And here it should be divided by or it should be multiplied by.
Multiply.
It should be multiplied by because it is foreign currency to local currency. Foreign currency to local currency, you will do a multiplication. Local currency to foreign currency, we will do a divided by. Now, this rate you need to understand while updating it in the system. To update the rate in the system, you need to understand direct quotation, indirect quotation, and the rate whatever is given to you or rate whatever is known to you. Is it INR to dollar or dollar to INR? What is the conversion? Is it 1 to 1 or is it 1 to 1000, 1 to 100, 100 is to 1, 1000 is to 1? You need to understand because there are many currencies, right, which are very high in inflation. There are certain currencies when you take 1 INR, it may be 500, it may be 1000, it may be 10,000. Am I right? And in SAP,
Yes.
we have character limitation for currency or not. When we all maintained OBA4, are you able to put maximum 9s or only limited 9s?
Limited 9s.
Limited.
Limited 9s only, right? If you put maximum, it is giving an error that the number of digits are not sufficient. You'll have to reduce few 9s, meaning it is having approximately 20 characters or 20 digit. Now, if I have a high value currency, I cannot enter the transaction. Maybe if I enter some 10,000 INR, it might become 25 digits. Possible or not with some currencies? Some high inflated currencies, if you take your Thailand or if you take Indonesia, if you take Vietnam, likewise, there are certain currencies wherein the exchange rate is very high because of the inflation. What everybody will do, they will do the conversion not 1 to 1. Here the conversion is 1 to 1. In this example, conversion is 1 to 1, but in the other side, when the exchange rate is very high, we will not do 1 to 1. You may be doing 100 equal to 1 or 1000 equal to 1, meaning your conversion is always in multiplication of hundreds, thousands, and so on. That I will make you understand when we come to different other currency transaction. At this moment, for INR, for dollar, it is 1:1 relationship, meaning conversion is based on $1 to 1 INR. These two numbers are clear, right? How I got 80,000, how I got 12,000, 12.50.
Yes.
Where to multiply, where to divide it by, we should have a basic understanding. Once you start recording the entries, automatically you will remember this. Now, I'll go
Ajay,
up now to the.
when we're maintaining the currency conversion, so will we maintain every currency's exchange rate with dollar only, or we will maintain like for each and every currency exchange rate, like from
This will be
INR?
given to us by the client because your client is doing business from last many years and they know what currencies they are dealing with. For those currencies, they will tell the exchange rate, they will tell the conversion. Only for those where your client is currently doing business will be updated. In case if they do business with any new currency, at that moment that exchange rate will be added, but not for everything. Only for the applicable currency we will do it.
Yeah. And how can we, where can we check this, whether we are converting group currency from the local currency or from the document currency, and how can we change
I
it?
am showing it now. Okay. Now here, when you're looking at the currency, this now everybody has a clarity how to convert from, how to get the dollar. Not straightforward, it is auto converted, and this is something which is coming from the config. Which config? Your ledger configuration. If you go to ledger setting, in the ledger you have global currency, which is second FI currency 30. This 30 has got source currency type. Now whenever you have dollar, you told the system bring the dollar from which currency? INR, which is your company code currency. There are two options here. Option number one, do this individually for each company code. Do it commonly for all the company code, meaning company code level wise group currency conversion or client level group currency conversion. Do I have any option or I do not have any option here to edit?
No
There is
option.
no
Sir,
option to
document
edit here.
currency. Sir, document currency is
Okay.
possible in any currency.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now I will come to this setting. There is something called currency conversion setting for company code. Currency conversion setting for company code. Double click on this setting. If I double click on this setting, do you
Ajay,
find our company code here?
hi Ajay, I have a doubt actually. Can you please come to that screen which you, that company code settings for ledger?
Okay.
Here for local currency, that currency type 10 and source currency is 00. What is this actually? That I have understood actually. Company code currency is 10 and source currency, that document currency is 00. This 30 and source currency 10, that I didn't understand actually what it means.
That's what we are understanding here now. Okay. The same
Okay.
thing I'm explaining now. Okay. Now, if I go to currency conversion setting for company code, because we are looking at AP90 company code, in this AP90 company code, second FI currency, which means dollar, is converting from INR, right? System has an instruction currently, convert a dollar always from currency type 10, which is company code currency. This two lines are clear for everyone. As per the
Yes.
config,
Yes.
system is having an instruction that I always convert a dollar based on your company code currency, which is 10. Why it is coming? Let us go. There is a setting called currency conversion setting for company code. Double click on this. If you double click on this, check whether we have updated our company code or not.
No.
Our company code is not there. Our company code is not there here. And if you go above, there is something called global currency conversion setting. Global means client level and the other one is company code level. At company code level, dollar conversion, meaning currency type 30, is not maintained anywhere. This 30 is not maintained anywhere. If I double click on global currency conversion setting, this is the group currency. This is the group currency. This group currency is having a source currency of 10. At what level it is maintained? At global level. Global means client level.
Yes.
Client level means applicable for all your company codes in the system. Now, if I scroll right side, now there is something called real-time conversion. Real-time conversion means at the each transaction level, it will be converted. Since it is updated under global currency, it is coming. Why this is updated as global currency? You go one more level up, currency type. You see this currency type 30. For this currency type 30, there is an option called company code specific conversion. Is this enabled or disabled?
Disabled.
Visible.
This is disabled means company code specific conversion is applicable or not applicable?
Not
Not
up.
applicable.
Not
Not
applicable.
applicable.
Not applicable.
What
Meaning,
what does it
if I
mean?
enable this, If I enable this, I can choose for every company code how to convert a dollar, group currency. I can say for one company code, my dollar is coming from local currency. For another company code, my dollar is coming from document currency. I can do this setting based on my company code if I enable this. If I don't enable this, I have no option. If I am Apple, I have 25 company codes. I want all my 25 company codes to follow the same logic. Or no?
Yes.
I want all my 25 company codes to follow the same logic to convert group currency based on the company code currency fixed. I don't want to have any surprises stating 23 company codes are following the same logic, but unfortunately there are two company codes wherein some setting is changed. Two company codes are converting from document currency to dollar. Then I might have some inconsistency. Yes or no? Which I don't want. I don't want as a client that some companies are following different base for the group currency conversion. Some companies are following different. I don't want it. I wanted to ensure everything is converted based on my group currency from local currency only. In that case, you ensure this is unticked. If it is unticked, it is global currency conversion, one-time setting valid for all the company codes in the system. If it is ticked, you can see that there is a tick mark for hard currency 40. There is a tick mark. If you go to currency conversion setting for company code, wherever you have that, you can see this currency type 40 for this company code separately, for this company code separately maintained. Somebody for this company code maintained from 0, somebody for this company code maintained it 10. Am I right?
Yes.
Change is possible if you maintain company code specific conversion in the currency type. Change is not possible if you do not maintain company code specific in the global currency. Even in real time, you always maintain global currency conversion only, so that the minute mistakes, minute misunderstandings are completely eliminated. There is no scope of any problem going forward. Am I right? Otherwise, minute problems might pop up, which we need to ensure small problems, small issues are not popping up in future by ensuring settings are properly maintained and we understand impact of every setting. When I do it, what would be the impact, why I should do it, why I should not do it. Tomorrow somebody might ask how system is converting the currencies. Having said I have experience, having said I am currently working, can I say I do not know exactly? Or can I say incorrect answers here? No, right? So meaning when you're creating the company code, even before you post an accounting document, you must know how currencies are getting converted. Because everywhere, once the entries are posted, we need to play with reporting. Is that true? You'll have to look at the different reports, understand what values are coming. If you're looking at the report, only the number is coming and you're not in a position to analyze why this number is coming, whether the number is correct or incorrect, is our understanding okay or not okay?
It's not okay.
It's not okay, right? I am generating a report, I'm clicking on execute, some number is coming. I cannot say that, okay, I posted one entry, I did a config, I run the report, output is coming. But your output is correct only when the number is verified. In accounting, everybody can bring the number, but right number, verification, reconciliation, confirmation is required or not required?
Required.
Right? It is required. If the number is not approved, you have to rework on it. Why the number is like this? From where system is bringing this number? User will not understand it. User will come to a consultant, meaning you and me. So we both will have to sit and see why this number is coming, how system is defined, what settings are maintained. If you also tell, I also don't know, you posted entry, you should know. Can I say this to the user? No, right? You are the one who posted the entry. You should be the one who should be knowing. No. I posted the entry, but how system allowed? System should not allow, right? Your user will start putting cross questions. Then you should know how to answer. You should know how to tackle situations. If you know how system is behaving, you can talk confidently, you can explain confidently to the user. Am I right? If we are also not aware, for small things also we need to tell, okay, let me check and come back. How many things you will check and come back? Right? Small points, when we are trying to understand from the beginning, many points will become easier for us to understand going forward. This is one setting through which this is happening. In short, our currency conversion is at global level. That is the reason group currency conversion is defaulted from company code conversion based on global currency setting. First point. Second point, if you go to this global currency conversion, look at 30. This is what we are referring to. System is telling group currency 30 is always converted from currency type 10, which is company code currency, based on what exchange rate type? M, average rate. It is M, which is average rate. Can you see this drop down list?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is coming from M. Now always remember, exchange rate type, we always follow M only. We use exchange rate type as M in all FI transactions. In all FI transactions, you will be using exchange rate type M, which is standard. In every project, it will be the same. First point. Now, second point, what date I need to take for taking the exchange rate? How many dates are possible? How many options are there in drop down? 3. One is document date, 2 is posting date, 3 is translation date. Okay. Now, if I show you a screen where we post the accounting entry, I'll go to
Ajay, one question here.
F-02. Okay.
Yeah. How
If I
can
go
we?
to 1 minute, I'll update it. I'm coming to every point. If I look at a screen or any screen, if you look at in SAP where accounting entry is posted, you will have this header information. In this, can I see 1, 2, and 3? Can you see these 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever I have listed?
Yes.
Document
Sir.
date, posting date, translation date. Meaning, whenever you record any transaction in the system, you always have 3 dates. Document date, posting date, translation date. There is no rule that these 3 dates should be same. They can be different. Am I correct? Right? These dates can be different. Reason, in the accounting, not every entry is recorded on real-time basis, right? In accounting, everybody will have data lag or backlog. Nobody or no company in this world will have real-time accounting entry. Everyone will have the data lag, data backlog. That is the reason no company will close their financial on the last day of the month. Is my statement correct? Every company will close their financials on the next month, 3rd day, 5th day, 7th day. Reason, they have to clear all the pending entries to be posted, do the reconciliation, make the rectifications, only then do the closing. Meaning, my document date, my posting date, my translation date can be different. Now I need to tell the system how it has to convert the rate. Here, what is the rate? What is the date that is given for group currency? Posting date.
Posting date.
In most of the projects, we will be strictly following posting date only for the conversion. In most of the project, it is posting date for the conversion. Now, meaning, when we say the date, along with this transaction, do I also need to include the date? whenever we are looking at the transaction, slowly we need to make sure along with the transaction, date is also important. How many dates we have? 3 dates. Out of 3 dates, one date is not important. That is your translation date. You can ignore the translation date. If you ignore a translation date, how many dates are left over? 2. Document date and posting date.
Yes.
Am I right? If I ignore this translation date, only 2 dates are left over. One is document and the other one is posting date. If you look at this and if you look at this, are these 2 dates mandatory or not? You find a tick box there. There's a tick box here, right? Meaning to record any accounting entry, document date is mandatory, posting date is mandatory, translation date, is it mandatory or it is optional?
It's optional.
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 This is optional. Now you'll have to choose between the document date and posting date. It is always recommended. Your conversion is always based on posting date strictly. Now I need to understand what is my posting date. Now in this transaction, if I say transaction date is 01 February 2025. Transaction date is 01 February 2025. Now, am I on 1st February 2025?
No.
Are we on 1st February today?
No.
No.
We are not on 1st February today. Meaning, while recording the transaction, you need to understand how I will take. My supporting documentation contains a date. Date on the supporting documentation is represented as document date or posting date.
Document date.
Document date.
Document date.
Document date.
Right? Date on the supporting documentation is represented as document date. First point. Date on which I am entering the data in the system is represented as posting date.
Posting date.
Yes,
Alright.
posting date.
If I am recording the transaction in the system today, I would consider today's date as my posting date, meaning my document date, posting date, not necessarily be same every time. They can be different. When they are different, system should consider what date to be taken for conversion, because on a daily basis there might be change in the exchange rate.
Yes.
Right, on a daily basis also there might be a change in the exchange rate, which slowly we need to understand, and accordingly we need to take a decision how system is converting, how I need to understand. Point number 1, if I take this date as 1st February and exchange rate, if I take, let's say, USD rate on 01 February is equal to 78, and if I say 28 February is 80. Now based on the configuration, system might take 78 or 80. If I don't do the config properly, system might take 878, system might take 80. But I need to ensure I will give the right config in the system. Through my configuration, system will understand how I have to convert the number. If I tell, please take the date from the posting date, then system will convert with 80 rupees. Am I right?
Yes.
If I tell the system, please take the exchange from the document date, then system will take 78.
78. Yes.
Right? It is dependent on your config, what you are doing. It is dependent on config, what you are doing. Accordingly, system will do it. It is a one-time understanding for everybody. Because entire SAP, any accounting you take, this is what is the base. If you understand it, in any accounting entry across SAP, you know how numbers are getting converted. It's a one-time understanding, and then there is no point you will get to know this. And when you know this, there are different other topics like foreign currency valuation, foreign currency translation, realized loss, unrealized gain and all. You would have heard these points.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? All those points are very easy for you if you know the basic fundamentals, what we discussed now. If these points are not clear, you will not understand foreign currency valuation, you will not understand foreign currency translation, you will not understand why realized loss is coming, why unrealized gain is coming. You will not understand if these currency conversion settings are not clear to us. This is the base logic. If this is clear, there are few topics which are understood to you by default. By default, you will understand because you know the base properly. If the base is not clear, you will not understand there. Though you can do the config, you will not understand the impact. Why entries are coming, why this value is coming, why there is an impact in my PNL. When you get queries from the user, from your client, it will be difficult for us to address. It will be difficult for us to resolve it just because we are not able to understand what is happening there. Because this is the base and we are missing the base. Now, this point for this transaction, this dollar will be updated assuming based on the posting date. If posting date is today, today's rate is 80 rupees, it will be converted with the help of what value? 80 rupees dollar. If it is 80 rupee dollar, this dollar is part of FC to LC conversion or LC to FC conversion.
FC to LC.
LC to
LC
FC.
to FC.
LC to FC. Local currency to foreign currency. Local currency to foreign currency is called as direct quotation or indirect quotation.
Direct.
Indirect.
Indirect quotation. It is indirect quotation. In indirect quotation, in short, local currency to foreign currency, exchange rate will be multiplied or exchange rate will be divided.
Divided.
It will be divided. Right? And you have to take currency type 10 for converting or currency type 0.
10.
Currency type 10 you'll have to take because in the system configuration it is updated as 10. Don't look at both are INR, I can take anything. No. Because in the system or in the project, you will not do every time based on individual transaction. What if you have 25,000 records? You will not do 25,000 times. Am I correct? You will do one time, Control C, Control V, Excel formula to replace everything. That is what will happen. Am I right? If I have 25,000 transaction, do you really go and do it 25,000 times?
No.
You will do it one time, Control C, Control V, formula will be calculating all the number automatically. In that case, not every time it is INR, right? You should strictly go by the logic. My conversion is based on currency type 10 to currency type 30. Put your formula, currency type 10 divided by 80. Am I right? Enter. This is $10,000. Here also same 1000 divided by 80. Is this number correct? $10,000.
Yes.
Meaning when you record the accounting entry, you should understand how these three currencies are getting updated. This is point number 1. Before even you get into the system, you must understand your accounting contains three currencies strictly. Any document you see in your company code, you must contain three currencies and you should be very clear with how these three currency values are getting converted. No doubt, no confusion in this. If these are not clear, if you have confusion, there is no point you are posting the entries in the system. Even if you post 1000 entries, this out will give a clear indication you are not clear with the system perspective. You know only the data entry, meaning your thought process, your understanding is there from the user point of view. What user will do? Blindly do the data entry. Am I right? User will keep on posting the entries to meet the target because user may be having every day they need to punch 1000 records, every day they need to punch 200 records, 100 record. They will just enter the data just like that to meet their target. But as a consultant, even if you post one entry, even if you don't post any entry, know the logics behind it. That's it. Even if you don't post the entry, nothing wrong in it. You are not a user, you are a consultant. You should understand on what basis entry to be posted. If entry is getting stuck anywhere, what could be the reason? If these points you are able to understand, if you are able to think through these points properly, you are good to go. This is first point. Once I understand what is my transaction, and then I'm able to write debit and credit, then I'm able to put my transaction in three currencies. I understand what are my three currencies. Unless I have a company code, unless I know what is my company code currency and all, I cannot put these numbers properly. Am I right? I must have a company code here and I must know what config is maintained. Is that true? Because just like that, I cannot assume any currencies here. I need to ensure what is my company code. Accordingly, I can plot these figures and this logic can be applied. Once this is done, make sure your transaction is becoming zero at all levels. Document currency, total must be zero. Is the total zero? Debit and credit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Local currency level, debit and credit must be zero. Is this a zero?
Yes.
Dollar level, it must be zero. Is this a zero?
Yes.
At a transaction level, all currency value must be zero. Whatever it is, whether it is a dollar, whatever, it must be zero. 0, 10, 30, meaning DC, LC, GC. Now I'll add DC here. DC means
Document currency.
document currency. Now I'll add LC. LC means
Local currency.
Local currency.
Local currency. Now I will add GC. GC means
Group currency.
Group currency.
Group currency. At all these three currency level, your accounting entry must become zero. First point. If you know this one, your basic accounting is clear. Now, second point, when you come to SAP accounting, we made a statement in the beginning, no profit center, no accounting document.
Yes.
Correct.
Now, in this accounting, currently we did not put any profit center. When I say in this accounting, there is no profit center, in system, if you bring this accounting entry, it should not be allowed if you don't specify the profit center. Meaning, you'll have to put something called profit center. I am writing PRCTR. When I say PRCTR, I am representing it as a profit center. Now, every document must be assigned to a profit center. And within the document, whatever the number of line items that you're having, each line item must contain a profit center. Now, when you're talking about profit center, first thing, you need to understand what is your company code. In our example, what is our company code? Apple India.
Apple India.
AP90.
In our example, AP90, which is our Apple India. In this, what I'll do, let's say for Apple India, I will write, let's say, can I write mobiles as a business unit, mobiles as a product level?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, I'll
Yes.
write laptop. Let's say I will write tablets. I'll also write servicing. Let's say I will take 4. Now I will be creating 4 profit centers in my Apple India. Apple India, let's say profit centers. I'm assuming this is what I will be treating as my profit center. When I treat these things as profit center, I should know how my profit center must be created. When you're creating a GL account, while creating the GL account group, you had decided a naming convention logic or not? What was our GL account length?
8.
8 digits.
8 digit.
8 digits. 8
8
digits.
digit, meaning Any GL account that you create, it should strictly contain 8 digits. If I create a GL account with a 6 digit, it creates a confusion, right? All my GL accounts should be strictly 8 digits in length, no matter what kind of account it is.
Yeah.
Similarly, when I'm looking at my profit center, I should have a fixed length here. I need to decide whether I'm going to create 4-digit profit center, 5-digit profit center, 6-digit profit center, 8-digit profit center, or maximum 10-digit profit center. Remember, majority of the masters in SAP can be created with maximum of 10 digits only. Majority of the masters are possible with 10-digit master record. Similarly, profit center can also be created with maximum 10 character, but you decide. Let's say I am going to take 6 digit. If I take 6 digits, if I take 6 digits profit center. Now when I say this is 6-digit profit center, this is 6 digit should have a logic or not?
Yeah.
Even when we created a GL account group 8-digit, there is a logic behind the 8-digit. By looking at the account number, you are able to understand what is asset, what is liability, nature.
Mm.
Yes.
Similarly, for profit center, we need to understand. Most likely, this will be like you should have company code and product line. These two must be there in every profit center. Other than this, there can be any other point. First point, when I say company code, you can segregate your company code either with the 2-digit or with 4-digit. Okay, if I'm taking 2 digits here for company code, then if I take 2 digits for my product line, how many digits are completed now? 4 digits, right?
Yeah.
Now to complete the 6 digit, 2 more digits are short. Now I can take 1 digit or 2 digit, anything is okay. And this one you'll have to discuss with the business and understand how they want to identify at what level they want to create the profit center. For now, if I say 6 digits are represented by 4 digit for company code, 2 digit for product line. Different other possibilities we will understand later on. To begin with, let us understand this logic. 6-digit profit center is identified in such a way, or it is broken down into 2 segments. Point number 1, company code identification, first 4 digit. Point number 2, product line identification, next 2 digit. What is your company code here?
AP90.
AP90.
AP90. And the product line you can take sequence. Let's say 01, 02, 03 and so on. So if I combine these two together, for mobile phones, what could be the profit center code?
AP90.
AP9001.
AP9001.
AP9001. Now if I break this down, AP90 is having one meaning, 01 is having another meaning. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
If I take this, I'll take this 2, I'll take this 3, I'll take this 4. Those who are working in your project, if you look at the naming convention, you will have a logic like this. And this will be decided at the beginning of the project, and it will be strictly followed in all your company codes for lifetime. No way you can change the logic in between. Whatever is decided at the beginning will be strictly followed. Tomorrow, let's say in your project, you got a new requirement to create a new profit center. Just like that, don't create it. Understand on what basis profit centers are currently created. What is the logic behind this profit center code? Accordingly, you should create it. They might be assuming all mobile phones will be starting from, let's say, like this, AP9010. all laptops will be starting from AP9020. This may be AP9030, AP9040. This is also possible, right? Now, when somebody is asking if this is the logic, if I create AP41, will I be correct or I'll be wrong? AP9041.
Wrong. AP9050
I
should
will
be.
be wrong, right? Because I am not applying my mind. I'm simply looking at, okay, 40 is there, 41. You should never make these mistakes in the project. Look at the current master logic, understand the logic, accordingly add a new one. There may be, if it is the same product line, I may have to create 41, 42, 43. If it is related to servicing, then I may create 41. If it is related to laptop, I may have to put the 21. Am I right?
Yes.
Meaning, even if I need to create a new record, I need to understand the existing set of masters, on what basis they are created. Accordingly, I need to take a decision. Meaning, in any project, these are dependent on the initial discussion, whatever happened with the client, whatever the solution proposed by the initial support, the consultant. Accordingly, it will be set up. They would have documented this somewhere, maybe in the blueprint, maybe in the key data structure, maybe in the key decisions taken document. Somewhere this will be documented. If not, you have to ask or you'll have to check. It becomes your responsibility to identify, to understand this. In your interview, somebody might put a question, in your company code, how many profit centers are there? Or how you created profit center in your current project? What is the logic followed? Or what nomenclature is followed? What naming convention is followed in your current project for profit center? Can I say I don't know? Can I say I don't know? Having said I'm a consultant?
No. No, sir.
I cannot say I do not know, but if I say I know how to create a profit center, this is the T code, step number 1, fill this field, fill this field, fill this field, control S, activate and all, everything is fine. But the moment I am given a cross question, what is the logic behind your profit center? How do you decode the profit center? How do you understand the profit center naming a convention? I must tell on what logic this is created. Only then other person feels that so and so candidate worked as a consultant. Otherwise, no. Meaning there are many points with which one can easily come to a conclusion this candidate does not know subject properly. Though he or she is very good at conflict, there are basic fundamentals like this which will reveal. And you'll have to make sure at this level when somebody is going, you are not getting a negative opinion, you're not getting a negative feedback. Instead, anyone should say that yes, this candidate knows the subject properly, he or she is able to explain me properly. And even when you're asking these kind of questions, when you're in a new project, the other person will be alert. This candidate is asking all the valid questions, I should be careful answering, yes or no. And they will tell you that, okay, whatever, I don't know what he will ask next, I will give a document, you please read this, everything is mentioned here only. It all depends on how you are reacting. It all depends on how you are talking to the other person, especially when you join a new project, especially when you join a new company. No matter whether you are new to SAP, you are already a consultant, switching to a new job, new company. For them, you are a new employee there. No matter whether you are experienced or inexperienced, nobody cares. You are a new joinee there. You are a new consultant there. Make sure how you will handle the situation. This is what we'll have to create, meaning creation of a profit center is mandatory or not before I post the document. This is mandatory. I have to create a profit center. How many profit centers I need to create now?
4.
4.
I need to create 4 profit center. Now, KE51 T code is used to create profit center. KE51 T code is used to create profit center. Now let us come to screen KE51. I'll go to KE51 press enter. In this KE51, what is mentioned here? Controlling area, meaning profit center is created at what level? Controlling area level.
Controlling area.
Controlling area.
Right. What is our controlling area? AP90. Put AP90. This is not relevant. Just ignore copy from. I'm not copying any profit center. I'm just creating a new profit center. You don't put any number, whatever comes in your mind. Have a logic. Even when you create, it is okay even if you create a single profit center, but you must know why that code is taken. If you are taking 6 digit, make sure you are able to explain the 6 digit meaning. If you take 4 digit, explain. Don't tell it is a testing purpose I created. Don't create in that way. Strictly don't create any profit center in that way where your answer is just ignore it. This is for testing purpose, practice purpose I created it. It is fine even if you don't create any profit center, but don't create in this way. Unknowingly, these things will get registered in your mind. When somebody is asking, without your permission, you will talk unnecessary, unwanted things which will put you in trouble. Strictly 6 digit AP9001. Am I right? Press enter. Okay. Now analysis period, you'll have to always take it from fiscal year beginning. By default, the system will look at the current date. What is the current date? 28 February 2025. From the current date, system looks at the current year. What is the current year? 2025.
2025.
From the current date, system takes the current year. That current year beginning date is by default analysis period. Is by default. Now, whenever you are creating a profit center, always pay attention on this analysis period. If you are going to go live in this year, you will be having a cutover data, right? You will have what data?
Cutover data.
Cutover data. Cutover data means legacy data. Cutover data means legacy data. 1 minute. Okay. Cutover data means legacy data. Now, in which situation legacy data will come into picture? In the implement. Right, cutover data will come into the picture in case of implementation projects, in case of rollout project. Now here your cutover data is referring to data coming from the legacy system or old system to SAP system. Am I right? Here data is coming from old system to SAP system. Now you need to understand what is your project go live date. For every project there is a go live date. Go live date means date on which system is handed over to the user or to the client. Is that right? Go live date means date on which system is handed over to the user or to the client. Now you need to understand, if I am in the month of February as on 28, if my project is at the closure stage, in which month I can go live? Possibly March month.
Yes.
Right? Possibly I can go live in March month if I am towards the end of my project. Now if I need to go live in March, I am handing over system to client in which month?
March month.
March month. Now I am handing over system to the client in March month, meaning client will start entering the data in SAP from which month onwards?
March.
March onwards. Now March of which year?
2025.
March 2025. So your client is starting to use SAP from 2025 March onwards. Forget about the date, because when you're talking about the reporting is always from starting date of the month till ending date of the month. Am I right? When I say March financial, I'm talking about 1st March till 31st March. Am I correct?
Yes.
I cannot say March financial from 10th March to 31st March. Do you accept? If I say March financials from 15th March to 31st March, do you accept or you do not accept?
We do not accept.
Not accept.
Don't accept.
Do not accept.
Because any financial data is strictly for a full month, 1st March till 31st March. If I am handing over system to the client in the month of March, irrespective of the date, all March data must be in SAP only. Am I right? All March data must be in SAP. Is this point clear? So
Yes, sir.
date is not a point here. Whether I'm going live on 1st March, on 5th March, on 10th March, on 15th March, irrespective of it, no impact of it. My go live is always considered by month, by year. March 2025 is my go live. It can be on any date, 1st March or any date of the March. It is fine. Now in accounting, there is something called balance carry forward.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
When I say balance carry forward, it is nothing but in March, which month balance will be carry forwarded? February.
February.
February or February.
February.
Right. I need to make sure when I'm preparing data in the month of March, I also need February closing balances to appear in my March.
Correct.
If I am handing over system to the client in the month of March, I need to ensure to the client I will also bring February data.
Yes, sir. Carry forward one will do.
Yes, sir.
Right. I'll have to ensure February data is also brought into SAP. This data of immediate previous month of go live. First, you need to understand the go live month. Go live month logic is clear, right? The month in which system is handed over to the client is your go live month.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That is your go live month, and immediate previous month of go live month. In our example, March is go live, February is the previous month.
Correct.
If March is go live, February is previous month. February will be cutover data. February is what data?
Cutover data.
Cutover data. You'll have to bring February closing balances into SAP as March opening balances. Is my statement clear?
Yes, sir.
If
Clear.
project is going live in March month, I have to bring February data into SAP as opening balances. This is your cutover data. If my project is going live in the month of March and I need to bring legacy data of February into SAP, both are in same year.
Yes, 2025. Yeah,
Yes.
same year.
Yes.
Both are in same year. In that case, you can create the analysis period from current year beginning onwards, 1/1/2025. Sometimes if I am going live in the month of January, what would be my cutover data?
December 31st.
December.
December.
It would be December. December and January, are they from same year or from different year?
Different
Different.
year.
Years.
Different year.
Different year. Then I'll have to be careful here. I cannot put 25. I'll have to put 24 in that case. But in our example, considering March is the go live, your cutover and your go live both are in the same year.
Yes.
Both are in same year. Point number one. Point number two. Point number one is this. Point number two. You have two reporting requirement: local reporting, group reporting. According to
Yes.
local reporting, according to group reporting, your fiscal year is different. One is January to December, another one is April to March.
Yes.
Consider both. In both the situation, you must ensure it is falling under same year from which you are enabling this. If you are not sure whether I can start from here or not, always take 1 year back. 2025, you can take 2024, it is okay. But it cannot be the go live date. If my project is going live on March month, I cannot say starting from 1st March because my go live is March. If I do this, can I upload my legacy data into SAP?
No.
No.
If I put this,
No.
I cannot because I have to take my legacy data from February. February data should be updated as opening balance in SAP or closing balance in SAP.
Opening balance.
Opening balance.
February data must update as opening balance in SAP for March. Now, opening balance to appear in March, I need to load it as February closing in SAP. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If I have to see February opening balance, I should not post the entry in March. Sorry. If I wanted to see February data as March opening, I should not enter the data on March month. I should strictly enter the data on February month. Meaning, I have to load February closing balance from legacy system into SAP on February closing date. What is February closing date?
28th.
20th
February
February.
28th.
February 28th. I need to make sure 28th February is my cutover date. All my opening balances will be loaded into SAP with 28th February 2025 date. Only then when I go to March, I can see opening balance extracted from February month. Meaning even when you're creating a profit center, you'll have to look at all these points. Just like that, don't create with whatever the date that comes in your mind. You should have a logic behind every date. Why you are giving this date, you should know. Here I am taking 0101. By default, the system will take current year beginning date as analysis starting period. It is our responsibility to look at the date and then amend it if it is to be amended. Then you put name. I will put, let's say, Apple India laptops. Clear?
Ajay, it's for mobile, I think 01.
Mobiles. Yeah. I'll put
Yeah.
Apple India mobiles. Why I'm writing Apple India mobiles? Because Apple is doing business of mobile in every country, right? India mobile business is there, Singapore mobile business is there, US mobile business is there, Dubai it is there. Yes or no? So everywhere Apple will have mobile profit center.
Right.
So I'm writing Apple India mobile. User responsible is ignore it. Person responsible for every product you have the product head. Am I correct? For every product you will have the product head. Let's say you put your name only, product head, and then department. Department is normally used for any identification that you wanted to have for profit center, which is related to your consolidation. As we understood, consolidation will take place in SAP or out of SAP.
Out of SAP.
Out of SAP.
Consolidation will take place out of SAP. Out of SAP means it may be BPC, it may be SAC, it may be Power BI, it may be any other third-party tool. In the respective consolidation system, you may be having a common keyword, you may be having a code for the mobiles. The consolidation system mobile relevant identification code you can update in the department field. Majoritarily for that purpose we will use it. If you want, you can use it for any other purpose. Majoritarily we will be using it for connecting a consolidation system code. Then profit center group. If I open the drop down here, am I getting any list or no list?
There is a list.
Any list is coming? There is no list, right? Only one value I'm getting. I'm not getting a pop-up. Now, do you remember where did we maintain this?
While
So
activating
when we
Profit center
activate
accounting.
profit center accounting.
Activation of a profit center accounting, T code.
0K5.
Okay, E5.
0K E5.
0K.
Right? In 0K E5, we updated this. Now here in 0K E5, whatever you have given is top level hierarchy. Top level means it is containing all the profit center. But now I want to see in future, I want to know how many mobile profit centers are there. Do I need this or not? Because I am doing mobile business, let's say in 40 countries. Definitely I must be having 40 profit centers. Am I right?
Yes.
If I am doing business of mobiles in 40 countries, by default, I will be creating 40 profit centers for mobile phone. Now I need to group all these 40 profit centers into one category. That is nothing but my profit center group or profit center hierarchy. You need to ensure before profit center is created, profit center standard hierarchy or profit center grouping is created. Where you will create profit center grouping? T code. I'm cancelling this now. If I go to, let's say, KCH2, enter. This is nothing but profit center group. Here you should give the top node. Top node means the hierarchy which is given in profit center activation 0K E5. That group you'll have to put and then click on this hierarchy. And below this you'll have to maintain. Select this, click on lower level. Under this you'll have to maintain. I'll put multiple here. Let me put mobiles. I'll put Apple mobiles. Then I'll take this one. I'll click on same level. Then I'll put laptops. Then I'll put Apple laptops. I'll take the same laptop. Click on same level. Let's say tablets. I'll put Apple tablets. If you wanted to create subgroups, you can select this one, click on lower level. If you want same, you can click on this. Currently, we will do same level. Services. Then I'll put Apple servicing. I'll save it. Now, whenever I'm creating a profit center, I need to make sure each profit center is grouped under one of this. If I'm creating Apple mobile profit center for India company, in which grouping it should be listed? Under this or under the respective one?
Mobiles.
Under the respective ones.
Under mobiles.
Right, under mobiles or under respective one. Now I saved it in KCH2. Now I will go back to profit center creation, which is KE51. Go to KE51, same logic, profit center code AP9001, controlling area AP90, press enter. Analysis period 1125. I'll put the same description, Apple India mobiles, same thing here, person responsible this, profit center group. This time I'm getting a list. Mobile profit center should be tagged under which group? Mobiles. So that in future, if I wanted to do my reporting and all, it is easy for me to pull the reports. Segment. In our document splitting, did we enable segment or we did not enable segment?
No, we didn't do. Only profit center.
We did not enable segment. If you are not enabling segment there, you do not need to update segment. Segment is nothing but group of profit center is a segment, nothing else. If I combine two profit center, it can form a segment. Okay. Now I'll press enter. We are not using any segment at this moment. Straight away go to company code, and here you will get list of company codes that are assigned to the controlling area. As per our controlling area config, are we using same controlling area for all the company codes or separate controlling area for each company code? What is the logic?
Same control.
Same control.
We are using same controlling area for all our company codes. As of now, For our controlling area, only one company code is assigned. Am I right? As of now,
But we are giving
for our
different,
controlling area,
for different company code, no, Ajay? Are we not giving different for different company codes, like three
no,
company codes we have created?
three company, no, that is your separate company code for your practice. But here we are
Yes.
assuming
This is a
from Apple
different
point
group.
of view. From Apple point of
Okay,
view,
Apple point of view only
all
one.
Apple,
Yeah.
yeah. From Apple point of view, if Apple is having 40 company codes, your controlling area is assigned with 40 company codes. Am I correct?
Yes.
One controlling area for all Apple 40 company codes, and all these 40 company codes will be assigned to same AP90 controlling area. In short, when you come to this screen, assuming Apple has got 40 company code, you will find 40 company codes here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of 40 company codes, always remember profit center is always company code specific, one-to-one relationship. By default, system will put assignment tick box for all the 40 company codes. It is your responsibility to remove the tick mark for irrelevant company codes, unwanted company code. If your company code is related to AP90, ensure only for AP90 assignment tick is there. For all other company codes, assignment tick is strictly blank. Am I clear? For all other company codes, assignment is strictly blank. Reason, profit center is always company code specific. One profit center should not accept entry from another profit center. Clear? Press enter and then save. Other details are not relevant. And come to basic data. On this basic data, others please go on mute, those who are not talking. Okay. Now here, the status is currently inactive, create. Always remember, profit center will accept the posting only when it is active. Profit center will take the data only when it is active. If profit center is inactive, it will not be posted with any accounting. So if you click on save, I'm not clicking on it. This is giving an option, save as inactive, meaning profit center will be created, but it will be in inactive mode. I cannot use the profit center for any transaction if my profit center is inactive. Inactive means not valid, right? Is that the meaning? Inactive?
Right.
Right? Inactive means it
Not
is
in
not
operation.
valid. It is not in operations. It is not in use. Same thing, when you click on save, it will be created in inactive mode. Make sure any creation, any correction you make in the profit center, click on this activate tick box. Whenever we are talking about activation, you will find the same icon. This icon, whatever you see, it will be the same icon whenever you are talking about activate button, activate icon. Icons will remain same in any screen of SAP. I have to click on active button here. Now the profit center is created, AP9001. Copy this profit center and we'll have to put this profit center here, here and then here. Clear so far? Profit center creation is understood, right?
Yes, Ajay.
Right.
And I'll put KCH2. T code is used to create profit center group or hierarchy. Okay, these two you'll have to do it. In short, as part of your practice continuation, first thing what you'll have to do, you take only one accounting entry. Don't take too many entries. Take single accounting entry, write debit and credit, put three values in the same way. Understand from where these three currencies are coming. Open your company code, look at these three settings. 3 currencies, and then the below points whatever we have listed, try to understand exchange rate, currency conversion, direct quotation, foreign currency, local currency, and then come back to profit center. Understand what is your company code, whatever you have created. There list out the products. From those product, what would be the profit center? Take the same logic, create a profit center. Make sure before creating a profit center group is mandatory. Create profit center group, create the profit center, assign the profit center to the appropriate profit center group, bring that profit center in your transaction. So far clear, right? What is to be done? Only 2-3 settings that you'll have to do, and make sure you're able to do it and you're able to understand what you're doing. Am I clear?
Ajay, while creating profit center in the analysis period, if we give like 10-15 years back back date, so will it create any problem, or it will be fine?
No problem, because you will enter the data only from your cutover month. Your cutover month is always go live previous month.
Right.
So profit center you are giving only from your cutover month. So even if you give from long back, it will not have any impact. It must be valid on your data entry. That's it. Even if it is valid from backdated, it is fine. But it must be valid on the date when you're entering the data. That is the only point. You can create from 10 years ago also, nothing wrong in it.
Ajay, one doubt actually. If company will be started 10 years back, right? And we are entering the trial balance on cutover month, correct?
Correct.
So if we are creating these profit centers, how the profit we can take for mobiles, laptop, and all with that old balance actually? Is
We
it
will be
possible?
taking closing balance as on February, which means as on cutover.
Okay. Yeah, that I
Okay,
got.
it will be consolidated. Anything historical, you'll have to refer the legacy system only. Because here we are not bringing the detailed transaction wise breakup, right? We are bringing closing balances alone.
Yeah, what I meant to say is, early if we are having 8 years of business, actually, same line. After 8 years only, we are implementing implementing into SAP. So
SAP.
this
Okay.
profit center wise, now only we are going to segregate. Earlier, it was not there actually. In that case, how the profit should be segregated in this?
Segregated.
Yeah, that's what I meant to
Business
say.
will take a call. Either they will say that, okay, all my transactions will be segregated, maybe some ratio they will take. 30 is to 30-20%, some ratio they will take. It is business decision how they will segregate the data. When they give the data, we must receive the trial balance at profit center level. At each profit center, total must be 0. Once we post the accounting entry, we will write the trial balance. We will write the
So
legacy trial balance for these 4 profit centers.
okay, so for this segregation, profit, the balances they should give actually. They should provide
Correct.
on the basis of their thing actually. Okay, okay, got it, Ajay. Thank
Okay. Yeah. Make sure
The
this
thing is
activity
that
you will do it today.
they are using sir existing GL accounts for separate profit centers. Suppose there are 3 profit centers, they will use 3 GL accounts in existing systems.
Okay.
Like this way. But in S/4HANA,
Oh,
for one GL, we can take 3 different profit centers.
correct. At every transaction level, you will have the GL same, but you will change the profit center assignment.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. So while posting this accounting entry, you will understand the different points with which many confusions will be permanently eliminated, and we are all in a position to understand accounting entry, accounting in SAP with same approach. So that once we post one accounting entry, it will be easy for everybody to speed up your practice and all. Because these points are not supposed to have any confusion for anybody. So we will ensure the first accounting entry that you post in your practice, in your company code, is the same accounting entry that every user will post in any company code. Okay, do this practice. Only the two things that you'll have to do as per the prerequisite: GL master data, which you'll have to identify based on one transaction. Here, identified GLs are two, which are not yet created. We will create in the next session. Profit center, which we created. For the accounting entry, we listed this and we understood the amount, how the conversion is happening. And next one, we understood currency conversion logics and all. Make sure these points you are clear with. And then in the next session, which means tomorrow, we will create GL master, cost center master. We will post the accounting entry. While posting the accounting entry, whatever the errors that we are getting, we will simulate the accounting entry with all possible errors that you will get when you're practicing. We will bring all the possible errors, then we will understand each error, why this error is coming, what needs to be done. Then we will do the accounting posting. In short, tomorrow's session, we will complete the accounting entry. Clear, right? Tomorrow, we will be connecting a little early. We will connect 1 hour early tomorrow. Instead of 9 p.m., we will connect 8 p.m. tomorrow. Am I clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
We will connect at 8 p.m. tomorrow, so that initial 1 hour we will complete the posting, because all the things whatever we need to understand logically we have completed. Tomorrow nothing is left over. Creating a cost center, creating a GL account, simulating the document, posting the document. Within 1 hour we will complete. After that, I'll spend time exclusively to clarify doubts, errors, whatever everybody is facing. In short, maximum by 9:30 we will complete our document posting. From 9:30 we will have doubts clarification session tomorrow. Then on Sunday we will have session only for the doubts clarification, so that from Monday everybody is ready for document posting. Am I clear?
Yes.
Sunday we will connect early in the sense maybe around 7 o'clock IST we will connect, 7 o'clock or 7:30 IST, and then we will have maybe 2 hours or 3 hours only for the doubts clarification, whatever you're all having, till document posting, right from your company code creation. Make sure in your company code, any doubt, questions, whatever you're getting, make a note of everything. And remember, when you're asking the doubt question, be ready with your company code. Reason, I might open your company code to open your doubt, to check, to see why that error is coming, where you went wrong. Make a list of all your doubts, questions, confusions, errors, whatever you're getting, to get them clarified tomorrow and then on Sunday. May not be possible for me to clarify all the doubts, questions tomorrow itself, because we will have limited time. Sunday we will again connect at 7:30 p.m. IST, and then we will have 2 to 3 hour session only for doubts clarification, with which by Monday everybody is ready for posting. All right. So it's too late now. I'm not taking
by 8 o'clock, right?
8 o'clock.
So
Yeah.
what will be the interview session?
It will be before 8 o'clock. It will be before that.
Yeah, I just have a quick question regarding the server. If I want to access Fiori link for 23P2, I don't know how I can access Fiori link on there.
You just put this T code on your server /n/UI2/FLP on the system. This T code you put, it will take you to the Fury directly. Put same ID password.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This is the T code for opening Fury in any S4 HANA system. Okay, even if you have a Fury link, it is not working. If there is any change in the IP address mapping, just put this T code, it will take you to the right Fury link. Same user ID password, you'll be able to log into the Fury.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, fine then. So we'll connect at the same time. I mean, tomorrow we'll be connecting at 8 p.m. IST sharp. All right, good.
Also, on a minute as well.
Okay, sir.
Yesterday itself I discussed